go.
Bitches cause I bought them mean I play around. I hop off the jet and count $100. If it ain't money, what you talking about? Carry out of my bitch.
California fucking dreams.
Bitches cause I bought them mean I play around. I hop off the jet, I count $100. If it ain't money, what you talking about? Carry out of my bitch. I'm back on my wrist.
Kiki in her feelings cause a nigga fly. Watch these laps, these man wanna in my drive. Hundo in the bag, shoot us 25. Price is right in cash, it'll end your life. It's any pussy that don't understand. If you ain't talking money, better come again. If you niggas try me, it's the son of Sam. When you bitches saw me, do the running man.
Bitches cause I bought them mean I play around. I hop off the jet and count $100. If it ain't money, what you talking about? Carry out of my bitch. Iceberg on my wrist.
He is just an artist. I love watching him, James, and obviously with Kyrie's playing on the road right now. But that's my go-to team. When they're all rolling, I'm watching Brooklyn.
You know who I love watching?
Who?
The Hornets.
Ooh, I love Melo too.
Man, listen. I follow Melo through the whole YouTube, half court, the whole, you know, his brother, all this other stuff. But he is probably one of my favorites. Him and Cole Anthony actually are my two favorite to watch.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They're young, they're excited, they're not afraid to kind of, you know what I'm saying, grip up and, you know, show some like passion and stuff.
Yeah.
But Melo has like an old school kind of he moves the ball. He has a high IQ. He kind of feels like that old school feel to him.
Oh, he got that fabric. He's made their team more unselfish. When your best player is passing like that, everybody's gonna move like that. Right. So he's made them fun to watch. He's made them exciting. He's embraced who he is. He brings some swag to him. He ain't turning down no matchups.
No, he ain't turning down nothing.
And he might do anything. He just did this the other day.
I saw that.
Right?
He has a bunch of magic in him. I see him catch it, push the ball. He's the first guard I see headman the ball. You know, like this. And I don't even think the coach is telling him to do that. He catch it right here. He'll headman into Haywood and just get into action.
He got that old school feel. But Lonzo's the same way. So you could tell that's how they were ranked. You know what I mean? Like you could tell that's how they were ranked. They're very high Q. And I always say that I've never seen a great passer not be a thinker, because you got to see things develop differently. Right? You got to see it before it happens. And he's one of those. I saw him play his first 3 minutes of the game. You can go back 3 minutes of the game. I said he's gonna be a star. He got it figured out. You can tell his fabric and his pedigree and what made him tick. And he was going to figure out the NBA game. I said he's going to be a star.
I can't wait for him to get like some little size on him to where he's explosive, to where he's finishing on bigs. That's going to actually take his confidence to another level. I got him being MVP less than 5 years.
I can see that.
Because he's dictating the league play, the style. I love the Suggs. I love the Anthonys of the world. I just love all the young guys that's in our league right now, how they compete.
How they going. If you look at him, Ja, Trae Young,
Luka.
Niggas kick all that shit, right? Niggas kick all that motherfucking shit, right? You give them the motherfucking opportunity and they still can't sink the fucking 8-ball. Let's go.
Bitches cause I bought them mean I play around. I hop off the jet and count $100. If it ain't money, what you talking about? Carry out of my bitch. Iceberg on my wrist. Bitches cause I bought them mean I play around. I hop off the jet, I count $100. If it ain't money, what you talking about? Carry out of my bitch. Iceberg on my wrist.
Kiki in her feelings cause a nigga fly. Watch these laps, these man wanna in my drive. Hundo in the bag, shoot us 25. Price is right in cash, it'll end your life. It's any pussy that don't understand. If you ain't talking money, better come again. If you niggas try me, it's the son of Sam. When you bitches saw me, do the running man.
Bitches cause I bought them mean I play around. I hop off the jet and count $100. If it ain't money, what you talking about? Carry out of my bitch. Iceberg on my wrist. Bitches cause I bought them mean I play around. I hop off the jet, I count $100. If it ain't money, what you talking about? Go out of my bitch, iceberg on my wrist.
So on the radio. Pogo from LA and whoa. All up to the bay, back down to the fucking A. I know your bitch want this cake up, and the way we go. Whoa, how I made it, they don't understand. How I go from now to 100 bands. Now she rockin' Prada in the Summerland. If you ain't talking money, better come again.
Bitches cause I bought them mean I play around. I hop off the jet and count $100. If it ain't money, what you talking about? Go out of my bitch, iceberg on my wrist. Bitches cause I bought them mean I play around. I hop off the jet, I count $100. If it ain't money, what you talking about? Go out of my bitch, iceberg on my wrist.
We don't feed them. You count carbs, nigga, you starving, we overeat. I'm talking bread, I'm talking cheese, we make a piece. These bitches quick to crack open their legs, yeah, they overeat. Yeah, she on her knees, showing on me like she having a seat. Yeah, her friend on the
Oh, it's time to represent for the Lithouse roll call. They say Lamelo stands. Show them where the Lamelo fans come from all around the world. Tell me where you tuning in all around the world. It's the Lithouse, let's go.
really having it, it's not the same. Your Pop-Tart niggas tell so quick just to hop out the toaster, and they just offer you a soda, but once the hot boy is over.
Bitches cause I bought them mean I play around. I hop off the jet and count $100. If it ain't money, what you talking about? Go out of my bitch, iceberg on my wrist. Bitches cause I bought them mean I play around. I hop off the jet, I count $100. If it ain't money, what you talking about? Go out of my bitch, iceberg on my wrist.
Yes, sir. We are in the litty lit one for the morning after show. It is time for the Lithouse roll call. Y'all share the video, like the video, subscribe to the channel. Y'all know what time it is. We are in the Lithouse. So many beautiful faces from all around the world that could be brought into the Charlotte Hornets market as new fans and potential season ticket holders, or at best, people that buy jerseys or NFTs of the team. Let's call some of these wonderful places out. Eric Schaefer, he's from Charlotte. Who would have known? New Jersey. Shout out to Darkside. Shout out to the 804. For those of you who don't know, that's Richmond, Petersburg, Virginia. Fairfax, Virginia in the building. 770, that's Atlanta, Georgia, preferably Marietta, Gwinnett, or East Atlanta, something like that. You know what I mean? Stone Mountain, somewhere around there. Kentucky, we got people that are watching the Hornets in Kentucky. Shout out to Olivia McAllister coming from that WA state. That's something like Seattle, Tacoma, Spokane, Washington. We all the way out there. Shout out to Africa. Now, I didn't know that our antennas reached all the way to Africa, Angola, Africa. Shout out to my brother Last Beach from Angola, Africa. Also, Toronto, Canada, riding through the 6 with my Sean Bless in the building, New Media family. Shout out to my brother Moneybags Lawson coming all the way from the 704, my brother. Shout out to my brother. Shout out to Rasmus Lindman coming from Estonia. Man, we got a big antenna. It go way across the room. Shout out to Estonia in the building. Fort Worth, Texas, by way of Charlotte, North Carolina. Lifelong Charlotte Hornets fan. I think Lamelo was born in the early 2000s. Yeah, but lifelong Charlotte Hornets fan. Shout out to Horn Cats 89. Bard on Live Podcast, Philadelphia in the building. Please stand up. Shout out to No way we got somebody in here from Finland. Assalamu alaikum, Abdurrahman Usman. Shout out, Douglas Golden Child. from the 334, that's Alabama. We didn't hit West London, did we? New Media family, unoriginal. Shout out to you. He says West London by way of Rwanda. Shout out to you. Peace and honor to the brothers and sisters in Rwanda. Self-made Sicario, he said he from Spanish Harlem. If y'all don't know nothing about that, y'all don't know New York. You know what I'm saying? Y'all don't know New York. Shout out to Miles Kelly, man, from the Chi. He said, I'm from the CHI. Yeah, we stay fly. But he live in LA, though. Shout out to Rasmus, man. Shout out. 305 in the building. Sydney Cobb in the building. We see you. We just showing them we worldwide here. You know what I'm saying? 815 Illinois. 815. Shout out to Illinois from the Chi all the way over to Rockford, Illinois. Shout out. Shout out to we have Belize in the building. Shout out to Belize in the building. Devonay, shout out to you. Shout out to everybody, man. We're going to get into a good show today. We should have Cal pulling up here any moment. Looking forward to having a very healthy conversation with Cal Bailey. Looking forward to having a good one with him. Going to sit down and do some talking. We're also going to break down last night's game, the positives and the negatives. The positives are pretty obvious and the negatives are pretty obvious. But at the end of the day, a loss is a loss, and nothing from nothing leaves nothing. You got to have something to get with me. Yeah, man. Shalom from Israel. Shout out to Dallas Roberts from Israel. Shalom. Shalom to Israel. All right. Yeah, man. Brother Barsh in the Blue Flame, New Media family. Shout out to Brother Barsh in the Blue Flame from the CHI. Yeah, we say fly, but he in the SIP. He be in the SIP, though. Shout out to Ismail Kira from Morocco. Don't forget the more in Morocco. Shout out to Ishmael. Yeah, man, this is it's healthy. It's all healthy, man. I'm feeling good this morning. I'm in here with the Lithouse. And yeah, man, Jello starting. That's good. Hopefully the Greensboro Swarm, they can get this win today. And Coach Jordan Surinkamp can continue to keep this young team rising and developing. But that's not what we're on today. No. We have business to tend to today. We will have Kyle Bailey pulling up in the Lithouse. Shout out to the whole New Media. Shout out to Blunt Dog. Shout out to Unoriginal FC. Shout out to Malik. Shout out to Moneybag. Shout out to Brother Barsh in the Blue Flame. Shout out to Sean Bless. Shout out to Vegas Baby KJ. Shout out to Mozart. Shout out to Rob Answer. Shout out to the whole family, the whole team. Shout out to Netta. Shout out to Queen. Shout out to Malaya. Shout out to Cambria. Shout out to the entire roster, Ant Jams, and many more. If I forgot y'all name, please, don't take it personal, baby. Shout out to AJ Watson in the Queen City. Shout out to Pierre Ghostin, the funniest man on YouTube. Shout out to Trent. You ain't never late, bro. Because when you not here, we keep the seat warm for you, player. But yeah, man, Charlotte Hornets traveled up to Boston. Shout out to Troublemaker Network. Oh, shout out to Sean Bless for the super chat. I'm sorry, brother. Let me read this for you. He says, let's get this show started off right. Hit the like button and click the membership button to join the family. Absolutely. Y'all make sure y'all run up the likes. We want to break through the algorithm today. Let's get through the algorithm. And the only way you can do that, if you take your shoes off. Y'all know the rules in the Lithouse. You have to take your shoes off when you come in the building. You have to take your shoes off. Respect the channel. Respect the grind. Respect all the work that we're putting in here. Millie Rock Mike wants to become a member. Y'all show him how to become a member. Let's get over 60, 70 likes so we can continue to bust through the algorithm, so we can show them the power of new media, which is true media. Thank y'all for pulling up and supporting. Thank y'all for all of the things you do. If you're a Charlotte Hornets fan, if you're a North Carolina Tar Heel fan, if you're a Duke Blue Devil fan, if you're an Alabama Crimson Tide fan, if you're a Lamelo fan, hold up, let me say that again. If you're a Lamelo fan, if you're a Lonzo fan, if you're a LIANGELO fan, if you're a Terry Rozier fan, if you're a Miles Bridges fan, In this day and age, you do not have to be captive by a team in order to support a player. That's ancient thinking, man. That's ancient thinking, bro. If somebody likes a particular player, even if it's Gordon Hayward, hey, some people, Gordon Hayward is the style of basketball that they like to watch. If you are a Gordon Hayward fan, yes, we're going to be critical sometimes, but you're welcome here in the Lithouse, man. You're welcome in the Lithouse. Shout out to Say Cool, man. I keep missing the info how to become a member. Yeah, somebody break it down so they can become a member. Shout out to my brother Vegas Baby KJ. He got a wonderful video dropping on the Lithouse later on today. It was edited by him. You want to make sure you check it out. It's going to be a great mini documentary. Y'all going to want to check it out. You're not going to want to miss it. Somebody make sure they tell everyone how to become a member. Normally, it should be something in the bottom right-hand corner that allows you to join and become a member in the Litty Lit One. Thank y'all for pulling up. Peace and honor. It's early in the morning. You could have been anywhere else in the world, but you chose to be here, and we appreciate that. For those of you that are working and listening to this secretly at work, we hope to keep you entertained. And I know a lot of you are doing so. Sean Bless once again drops another super chat. The brother showing love. He says, in order to become a member, you need to do on a browser, not the YouTube app. So make sure y'all go on the browser and log on so you can become a New Media Lithouse member and continue to ride your way to the top. And us as season ticket holders, we can go to the games together once you get to a certain level of membership. I already know Moneybags Lost, and I already know half of y'all at work, man. Hey, and if we're doing anything to help you guys get through work, we're thankful for you listening and tuning in. Let's get to some of the spiel of the show today. The first topic we're going to be discussing is the Boston Celtics versus the Charlotte Hornets last night. The Charlotte Hornets traveled to Boston to TD Garden to take on the Boston Celtics, coming off of a loss to the LA Clippers, an undermanned LA Clippers team Sunday. If you haven't been paying attention to the East is on fire right now. And I'm not just talking about the top. Some of the teams on the top, they're stumbling a little bit, but the teams in the standings of 7 to 10, these teams are playing their best basketball of the season. You got the Toronto Raptors. You got the Atlanta Hawks. You got the Atlanta Hawks, the Boston Celtics, and it's a third team right now that's going crazy. Toronto Raptors, Atlanta Hawks, and the Boston Celtics. All three of those teams are behind the Charlotte Hornets right now, but they're playing some of their best basketball of the year. For God's sakes, before Charlotte played the Boston Celtics beat Miami by damn near 30 points. You know what I'm saying? Also, you got a situation where the Toronto Raptors are out of their mind. They just went down to Atlanta, beat Atlanta in Atlanta. Yes, it was without Trae Young, but still that's a very impressive victory for such a young team. Well, not a young team. They're a veteran team, but a team without a clear-cut superstar. This team from top to bottom, built up by Ujiri, is a team that is a veteran savvy team that when playing at home, they don't have any home fans. So they always are going to have an advantage and an edge over any team. Also, they got a lot of guys on that team that were a part of that championship roster. They've been able to keep it intact. They know their roles on that team. Then it's the Atlanta Hawks, who just last year spent upwards of $250 million in free agency, bringing in names like Bogdanovich, bringing in names like Clint Capella, bringing in names like Lou Williams and Danilo Gallinari to complement Trae Young. Also, you got Big O from Chino that's going crazy right now. I wonder if there's any Big O stands. Anyway, so all three of these rosters, the Boston Celtics, the Toronto Raptors, and the Atlanta Hawks, when I look at these rosters from top to bottom, they're just better teams, man. They're just better constructed teams than the Charlotte Hornets. So you would think in order to close that gap, you're going to have some transcendent talent that makes up for the other holes on that roster. That's what you would think. You would think that because of all the deficits at the big man position, the power forward and the center position, you would think that, okay, in order to keep us close, we're going to play to our strengths. What position do we always have an advantage on 9 out of 10 times a night on this roster in this league? And that's LaMelo Ball. I'm sorry. Look, man, I trust Kevin Garnett more than Charlotte media. I trust Kevin Garnett more than most media. When Kevin Garnett says LaMelo Ball is the straw that stirs the drink in Charlotte, and he's a future MVP in 5 years, you got to start developing that level of talent. You got to start developing that level of talent. So the Charlotte Hornets went up to TD Garden last night, and they matched up with the Boston Celtics. I was telling Charlotte's fans before the game, I was telling Hornets fans before the game, and shout out to Blunt Dog for becoming a new member. We appreciate you, brother. Thank you. We're almost at our golden mark where we can start releasing some behind-the-scene content of some of the things we've been talking about. 76 people in here. We should have new subscribers, and we also should have the likes running up. Let's get over 100 likes so we can get through this algorithm. But I was telling Charlotte Hornets fans, I was saying to them, this is not the Boston Celtics that you played a week and a half ago. This is not the Boston Celtics squad that was without Marcus Smart and without Robert Williams III. This is not the same Celtics team that you're going up to Boston to face. So be prepared for a tougher game. Be prepared for defensive matchup at times in the game. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like sometimes it seems like the fan base, and shout out to Say Cool for becoming a member. We appreciate you, brother. Sometimes the fan base forgets that we're dealing with the COVID season where a lot of teams get caught up in health and safety protocols and they're not getting their best shot. But hold on, I don't want to be disrespectful to our guest. I see he's a man of his word. He is pulled up. I got to show love to the man for pulling up. Cal Bailey has pulled up in the house. Cal, some love. How you doing today, Cal?
What's up, Rev? What's going on, buddy?
Nothing much, man. I'm happy, and really, man, whenever somebody from what we call old media, somebody from the media comes
Legacy media. Come on, let's make it nice now.
You feel me? Comes up to a stream like this, we show him love, and we appreciate you coming up, man. Cal, how's everything going today, man?
It's great, man. It's great. No, I appreciate the invite, and I appreciate what you do. I appreciate people who hustle. I appreciate people who make the time to do their own thing and to chase a dream and to chase what they're passionate about. And that's what I hear about you. So I respect that, and I appreciate the invite, buddy.
All right, let's get into it, man. He's got that classical radio voice. I hear it, Cal. I hear it, man. All right, so let's get into it, man. You made some waves on Twitter last week. Well, not last week. I think it's 2 weeks ago now, where you were making a statement and voicing your frustration for what you call LaMelo stance. You've been a guy that's, I'm sure, been a Charlotte Hornets fan for a long time. Could you describe for us your frustrations with particular areas of the LaMelo fan base?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to drop the phone right there. Honestly, Brett, the one thing you'll learn about me is if we continue to frequently visit each other or, stop by or whatever the case may be. And I suspect you might be the same way. I like a good argument. I like to do a little shit talking from time to time. So I like mixing it up with the LaMelo stance. My problem is among a certain faction of the zealots, the diehards. There's not enough, I think, consideration given to other aspects of the game and the team building and to things like that we can definitely get into. But the overarching point is that, I think we share more in common than we do apart, and that I absolutely love this kid. And I felt like, I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I was sold on him before the NBA draft. My stance on him was, hey, I could be convinced. I see the foundation, I see the talent. Does he want to play defense? Does he want to improve as a shooter? If so, I can absolutely be convinced that this kid could be great. And ever since he stepped floor on an NBA court, even the first night where he went scoreless, it was obvious the kid belonged. So I love it, and I think that he is the best thing to happen to Hornets basketball in a long time. And I think that we'll look back years from now on some really special things that he has done and accomplished. But I think he's still working his way toward that point. I think that some people need to remember that, even if only for his own good, because there have been some stretches lately where somebody said, well, JB doesn't let him play through stuff. Well, I mean, JB let him play through 8 turnovers and a triple-double, 2 weeks ago from last night. JB let him play through 15 straight games where he was 29 of 99 from deep, shooting 20% from 3, but wanted him to keep playing and shoot his way through it. So I love LaMelo. I know you love LaMelo. I think the future's bright with the Charlotte Hornets. Last night was frustrating, which I'm sure we'll talk about, but that's generally where I am. I'll shut up and give you your show back. What question do you have for me?
Okay, no, I'm glad that you answered that. That's and this is Kyle Bailey. He does a lot of big interviews for the Charlotte Hornets. I understand it's a very delicate situation when you are in the position that you're in. You're having to listen to fans and you're having to interview members of the org. What we would say is when it comes to LaMelo, especially when you look at his minutes just for sophomore players, he's always lacking in that department. As far as playing through, it seems like, and Cal, I really want to ask you this, man. It seems like there's becoming this big disconnect of national media versus local media, the way that, like you just talked about, the stretches where he went 29 for 99, and that's a bit of an exaggeration, but when he wasn't shooting good from 3. We've seen other stars have these same issues. Trae Young, I cover the Atlanta Hawks, so I see it all the time. He goes through terrible stretches where he's not playing good basketball, but it seems like the organization is dedicated to the development of Trae Young. It seems like with LaMelo, it's always oh, shucks, this young kid, he's not ready. At what point does LaMelo become, in your estimation, the identity of the Charlotte Hornets going forward in their future?
Oh, I think that's happening right now. I mean, I think it's happened. A lot of it's happened over the last couple of weeks. I said last night on Twitter, and I think there was really only one person that disagreed, but I said, hey, I love the way how aggressive LaMelo is on the offensive end. Last night, he was attacking. I loved it. But last night, I know Gordon Hayward is something of a controversial figure for some. I think Gordon was needed last night to settle the rest of those guys down offensively. LaMelo, as great as he's becoming, and he's getting better and better all the time. The attacking lately, he's always flirting with the triple-double. He individually, I love what James Borrego said last week, maybe 2 weeks ago, about his game management being the biggest area of growth for him over the past 2 weeks. And you could see it. I mean, remind me, Rev, he had the triple-double, I think, a couple of nights ago with no turnovers. And then I think he followed that up with another game, 2 consecutive games with no turnovers. So he's definitely cleaned some things up on that front. But last night I felt like Gordon was needed to settle the rest of those guys down, right? Because Kelly can be a knockdown shooter. Kelly can finish around the rim. Kelly's not an elite playmaker or creator for other players, right? That's a role that Gordon fills right now for them. And do I think Gordon's going to fill that role for them long term? No, of course not. But LaMelo has been able to really. LaMelo's really stepped it up lately just in terms of his attacking. He's been really good from the free throw line. The three-point shooting has been better as of late. So to answer your question, I think he's made some big strides in the last 3 weeks, ever since Christmas, quite frankly.
Okay, I don't want to take up too much time. We got about 6 or 7 minutes here. Let's get into some things, some other things. I know a lot of LaMelo fans who want to be Charlotte Hornets fans. You know what I'm saying? And for some reason, it does seem like the media goes out of its way in Charlotte to isolate that fan base. That's a war you're never going to win. I advise all my friends in Charlotte media to think about that, because these are the youth and they're growing and they're just going to get bigger and bigger. This is my question for Charlotte media. We don't see a lot of times where Charlotte media is critical of James Borrego. Last night is a game that I'm being very critical of James Borrego about. You have a situation. I played college basketball for the University of Auburn in Montgomery, you know what I'm saying? And I know basketball. And I see times, to me, where JB seems to panic in certain situations. And instead of just doing the basic thing, what a lot of coaches do, which is take accountability on himself, he seems to always want to blame the young players. I'm not just talking about LaMelo. It could be Book Knight. It could be Miles. It's always a young player's fault. The set that he drew up last night to end the game with PJ on the flare screen to Terry, were you, Kyle Bailey, a fan of that play?
I actually was, because if you look, and I respect your eye for basketball too, but JB, I went right to the post-game show after, and we got JB on the podium talking to the press right as we went on the air, and he was asked about that. And, Robert Williams made a great play. Now, here we are talking about bigs, right, and constantly talking about Mason Plumlee and what he does and doesn't bring to this team, what he does and doesn't offer. That's one thing Mason Plumlee can't do. Like Robert Williams, that big body in there, he can clean the glass, he can affect shots, but he can also step out and do what he did on P.J. Washington last night. We don't see that much from Mason Plumlee. It's not really in his skill set. That play that they drew up, and I think you did actually break this down on Twitter. I think I saw that before I jumped on with you. It was a multi-layered play where they had one or two options. They took the early option, and given the way they shot last night, where Lamelo and PJ were the only two guys really hitting from three, I have no problem in the world with PJ taking that shot. In fact, I love what PJ has done, especially since he got back out of the health and safety protocols. To me, PJ, maybe a head fake's called for there. Maybe you got to swing it one more time. I don't know. I wasn't incensed. Now, let me go back to your original point, though. I don't think JB's immune from criticism whatsoever. I think he can hang out on player development, and I think JB is actually really solid, drawing up a play out of a timeout or a dead ball situation for the most part. But that doesn't mean I think he's the greatest coach of all time. Where I've found myself, the position that I've found myself in quite a bit, is seemingly having to defend him from people who think that he's awful every single night of an 82-game season, which I just can't get on board with. But, talking to you and understanding your basketball background, I know that you're probably looking for things, watching things that the average fan might not pick up on. So I respect where you're coming from. Is it always perfect? Is it always right? No. But the one thing, and I'd love your thoughts on this, the one thing that I really like about JB, as someone who has to come in every day and listen to everything he says in every press conference because it's just part of the job, he's not a guy that wants to make it about him. Like, you can point out that, maybe he's a little too critical of young guys sometimes, and I'm absolutely open to that conversation. But somebody tried to make the case to me last week, rather, JB's got to make it about him. I don't think there's a coach in the NBA that tries to make it less about him when he's talking about his team. Where do you come off on that?
Okay, I'm going to be completely honest on this. And this is rough waters we're treading right now, Kyle. All right, sure. For some reason, once again, I just don't understand why Charlotte, and this is no disrespect to Charlotte, I'm keeping it real.
No, you're good.
With no banners in the rafters, no conference finals appearances, why in Charlotte are we reinventing the wheel? Any other player on the brink of making an all-star game, you just said it, Kyle. P.J. Washington and Lamelo were the guys. It's a 2-for-1 opportunity. You don't run that motion at that play. So why don't you just run the offense through Lamelo on the strong side?
Okay, I got you.
Hold on, and this is the issue. And this is why a lot of LaMelo fans start thinking, hey, does JB just want the credit when you got a guy on the brink of a 40-point game on an isolation on a guy he's been cooking all night? It does seem to me, because of the Popovich system, that James Borrego is a guy that wants it to be more about the team than one individual player. Yeah. And I think that works on a college level. In the NBA, we know it, man. Stars win, man. Stars win games. So I think at some point, if James Borrego, and this is me saying this, not Kyle saying this, if James Borrego is going to remain the coach of the Charlotte Hornets, he's going to have to learn how to adapt to coaching a star. Since he's been in Charlotte, he's never coached a star.
Well, and the truth is, I mean, he still hasn't coached an all-star yet either. Like, I think LaMelo should be an all-star, and I think Miles Bridges, I think both have played so well down the stretch, they're both deserving of being on this team. Now, I'll get with you on this. I like the point that you made, and this was made both, I think, by Dell and EC last night and by the radio guy. Hey, you got, I think it was, 35 seconds on the clock. There was a lot of talk about going 2 for 1, right? Trying to get a quick shot up last night there at the end of the game. I do understand where you're coming from with that entirely. Although I would say, to your point, yes, the NBA is the most star-driven league in American professional sports. There's no question about it. But look at that Clippers team that came in here and won on Sunday. Right, with Markieff Morris and Reggie Jackson and Winslow and Kennard and Boston getting it off the bench. And, that was a group of guys that had some Grizzly vets on the team. Some of those guys are playing for jobs next year. They've been around the NBA for a while. I heard it said on Sunday that the Hornets just didn't have any effort. They didn't play hard. Now, they got bullied. I mean, they got bodied. The Clippers came in here and they beat them up, especially that post defense that the Hornets just could not solve on Sunday. So the overarching point is, I do think that there are still, Ty Lue's a good coach. Tyronn Lue is an underrated coach, I think, in the NBA, given what he's done with that group out there with the Clippers. I think you can still coach and emphasize team basketball in the NBA and be highly successful. It's like I tell people, old heads all the time, like my own dad. My dad, loved the Lakers for the longest time. He's a Kobe guy, a Magic guy, but he's kind of fallen off from the NBA because, well, they don't play defense in the NBA. They do. The best teams in the NBA play defense. Championship teams in the NBA play great defense, right? And so it's kind of a similar point where, yeah, there's a lot of defense being played in the NBA on a night-to-night basis, especially by the great teams, just like there's great team basketball. But I will concede to you, yes, as a head coach, that is part of James Borrego's evolution and development as a head coach. Is helping LaMelo Ball as quickly as possible reach that superstar status and continue to operate accordingly. So, yeah, I'm with you on that.
All right, Kyle. We had an agreement. I don't want to go over too much time. We can do this another time, man.
I'm happy to come back, man, anytime.
Yeah, man. Looking forward to meeting you in Charlotte one day. Great conversation. I got one more question for you, though. This is shot clocks with adrenaline down. It's 4 seconds on the shot clock. It's almost time for the All-Star reserve list to come out. If you had to put it on the line and say LaMelo or Miles Bridges, who's making the All-Star tonight once it's announced on TNT on Inside the NBA?
Rev, if you had asked me this question 5 days ago, I would have said LaMelo, no doubt. Now I'm honestly not sure. I'm honestly not sure. I'm starting to lean toward Miles just because of some of the recent conversation that I've seen and some of the Inside the NBA conversation that I've seen. I think LaMelo, with the following that he's got, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, he entered this league, as a star in a way that Miles Bridges didn't. So I've always felt like that would get him in earlier. But my God, Miles is having, last night notwithstanding, Miles has been absolutely incredible this season. So I'm going to lean Miles right now just because of some of the conversation that I've heard. But there's no question LaMelo deserves to be an NBA All-Star. Let me ask you this one real quick, just so I know a little bit more about you before I go.
Go ahead, Kyle.
Who does Rev think is the single greatest basketball player of all time?
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Now I'm more interested in Rev. You got to have me back for a conversation because I want to talk some more about that.
All right, Kyle, thank you for pulling up, my man. That's Kyle Bailey, man. Y'all check him out on Twitter, man. If you're in Charlotte, come up and speak to him. We're people we love when people come on and put it on the line, man. We appreciate you, man, because a lot of people wouldn't do it. We're looking forward to having you back and continuing this healthy conversation. That is Kyle Bailey. Thank you, my man.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate the hustle.
All right, that's Kyle Bailey, man. That's Kyle Bailey. Y'all heard his piece. He looks like he wants to bridge the gap between LaMelo fans and Charlotte fans. We asked him the questions that I wanted to know. Why isn't the Charlotte Hornets media more critical of James Borrego? He said he's willing to be more critical of James Borrego, and we're going to hold him to that on Twitter. Also, we advised them it is not smart taking shots at LaMelo fans that will eventually 9 times out of 10 become the entire Charlotte fan base or the majority of the Charlotte fan base, with youth always growing and getting better and older and wiser. They're going to grow with LaMelo. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate him coming on. A lot of people when it came on, but got to show love to him for coming on, and I cannot wait to round 2. And unoriginal, I'm going to be real with you, man. I'm not mad at him for speaking his piece. I don't want a situation where he's coming up here being a yes man. He spoke his piece, but he also conceded some things that I feel like Charlotte media has to do better at. And if they don't get better at it, then somebody's going to do it better. You know what I'm saying? And they have to start asking James Borrego critical questions. That's the way I feel. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's only a matter of time. Also, I think it's interesting his stance on, and shout out to MTM Gaming. Nah, I wasn't mad at all. I wasn't frustrated. I was happy that Kyle was saying his opinion. I was happy that we got to say our opinion and we got to meet on a mutual ground. That's all you can ask for. You know what I'm saying? I didn't want to be in a situation where we're bashing the man and he's coming on the platform, but I did want to stand our ground and speak directly to a lot of the things he was saying. And it seems like he has an understanding of what LaMelo is. They just have a different understanding on the time clock. We're saying is now, they're saying is later. I don't think to this day, and Kyle can correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think they see what LaMelo really is. You know what I'm saying? And that conversation really, to me, was an eye-opener. It still seems like they are on a wait-and-see approach. And yes, Moneybags, that was very important. They're on a wait-and-see approach with LaMelo Ball still And for a team whose best players are Lonzo Mourning, Larry Johnson, and Terry Rozier, that's still baffling to me. I still don't understand the way that we're really going to have to sit down, maybe do a face-to-face conversation. I don't understand how a team with no success has these wait-and-see approaches with Lamelo. You know, I was going to slide this in there, but I don't want to take too much time because I know he has to get on the radio. But one of the questions that I would pose to the Charlotte Hornet faithful that say wait and see on Lamelo because of success and things of this nature. LaMelo Ball has experienced more success in his career than the Charlotte Hornets have experienced as a franchise. LaMelo Ball is 20 years old. Y'all understand what I'm saying? LaMelo Ball is younger than the Charlotte Hornets as a franchise. He's won a high school championship in Chino Hills. Arguably the greatest high school team in the history of high school basketball, right? He went over to the NBL and won Rookie of the Year in 12 games. All right? He comes to Charlotte, a team who hadn't been to the playoffs in 5 years, and before injury was on way to lead them to a 4th or a 5th seed. And I was about to say that about Ty Lue, too. I was about to say that. To a 4th or a 5th seed. And by the way, comes back from an injury when Gordon Hayward, the $125 million man, did not. LaMelo Ball comes back from an injury and still leads them to the play-in game and wins Rookie of the Year. I mean, come on, man. But Trent, no. Now, that's one point I do agree with Kyle. People be sleeping on Ty Lue. But to mention Ty Lue and James Borrego in the same sentence, this I cannot accept. Ty Lue, to me, is one of the top 4 coaches in the NBA. Might be top 3. Ty Lue is winning with the Clippers with Band-Aids and patchwork. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, y'all run the likes up, share the video, like the video, subscribe. I saw some of y'all questions. Like somebody said, maybe we can get them on the podcast. The potty in Charlotte. Maybe we can get them to pull up to the podcast. That would be awesome to get them to sit down with some NBA players and have these conversations with NBA players as well so we could just keep it fluent. You know what I'm saying? I would love to have Kyle on with another NBA guy and some people that know basketball and have this same conversation. That'll be a very interesting conversation to watch live. But in order to watch that conversation, that podcast, you got to subscribe to the New Media Network, which will be launching today, right around the time the All-Star reserves lists are being announced. We will be releasing this the link to the New Media Network channel so that you guys can subscribe and listen to the podcast. But yeah, man, he gave his perspective. I respect it, and he definitely wasn't disrespectful. We were able to meet in the middle. It was a beautiful conversation, honestly. I love the conversation. I like that he stood his ground, because the thing about this, like, if he comes on the show, and I'm sure he will come on the podcast in Charlotte. If he comes on the podcast in Charlotte, that'll probably be a 2-month span. A lot of things can change in 2 months. So when people stand before each other and give their opinions and leave a public record, we're able to see in the future who's right and who's wrong. Now, HK, for me, is not MJ. I'm dead serious. It's Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. The man won on every level. He won 6 championships. I think he won 3 in college. He won a high school basketball championship, maybe 4 of those. He's the leading scorer all time. He averaged 20 points a game, 5 rebounds, and blocks for like 20 years, bro. No, I'm being dead serious. To me, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is the greatest player of all time. That's the facts. You know, y'all run the likes up. Let's get over a hundo. Let me do some housekeeping real quick here in the Lithouse. Somebody asked, will we be doing a stream for the All-Star release? I want to say yes, but when I do, those weirdos from the Deadverse, they copy my times, and then they do one right when I do one, and then, it just becomes some silly stuff, bro. And I'm really trying to get far away from that space. I don't ever want to be around that space again. So we may do it here. We might do it somewhere else where we've been doing stuff. I just, we want to keep it fresh and new, but we might be doing one. Also, look out for Vegas Baby KJ's documentary that he's releasing on LaMelo Ball right before we release the All-Star reserves list. We talk about it and we watch it. Make sure y'all pull up and watch that small mini documentary highlight series produced by Vegas Baby KJ. Y'all not going to want to miss it. We're going to unveil it here on the Lithouse. It's going to be crazy. I look forward to seeing all you in the comment section when we unveil it. Interesting comments were made. He said he is not sure if LaMelo Ball will be announced an All-Star. Woo! Now, as somebody that works in media, I don't know if Kyle is speaking from inside information. I don't know if Kyle is just going off because he did mention inside the NBA. I don't know if he's just using inside the NBA as the source, or I don't know if he's heard something about LaMelo not making it. But it is a bit concerning. I will say that. It's concerning. Rob Anson says he don't have that info. Okay. I hope so. Like I told y'all the entire way, I've been pretty 50-50 on this. I don't know. And I was excited when some things leaked this weekend. I was worried about the leak being made so public. And let's get over 100 likes. Also, if this is your first time on the channel, subscribe to the channel. We got the best in-game streams in the game. Shout out to everybody that's listening. Shout out to the new media family, Brother Bartran, KJ, Rob Ansa, Unoriginal 704, the whole team, man. My twin self-made Sicario. Shout out to everybody, man. Mozart Ball on live. We got the best team, new media. Shout out to DKM. But I am a bit concerned. Shout out to Mark Curse. I'm worried, man. I am worried, man, because, like I said, I would not want to be the guy if you're wrong about that video. I would not want to be the guy that released that video. I wouldn't want to be the guy for clout or for likes or subscriptions. That would eat me up, bro. That would eat me up if that happened. Smooth shot, you wild, bro. But that would eat me up. Now, I'm not saying LaMelo not going to make it. I'm just saying I've been worried. I've been concerned. I'm not going to believe it until I actually see it. I'll be happy if he does. I'll even be happy for the dude if he does. Whoever released that video for doing that. I mean, that's on them. Hey, kudos to them. The credit, they should get their due credit if they want the credit for jumping out there. But if it goes wrong, you got to take the credit for it going wrong, too. That's how that works. You got to be held accountable because you don't know if releasing that leak had any effect. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Oh, yes, if it's wrong, I'm telling y'all, that grill coming out tonight. And if you a lame, one of them, I should be the guy. I'm telling you, just stay out the stream. Just stay out the stream because you're going to get cooked. You need to be more concerned about handling things properly when you're dealing with somebody else's life. I noticed when watching during the timeouts, Marcus Smart was the one talking to the team, rallying, and it seemed like the Hornets sitting, looking lost. Melo Bridges. Yeah, there's no roles. There's no defined roles. Have any of your sources told you anything we don't know? HK, nah, be real with you, I ain't heard nothing like that. I haven't heard that LaMelo wasn't going to make it from nobody. And I got multiple sources. It's normal because y'all, Fozzie, shout out to you, bro. It's normal because we allow it to be normal. That's why we don't do clickbait over here. If we say we're going to have Cal Bailey on here, we're going to have Cal Bailey on here. If we say LiAngelo Ball has an Exhibit 10, LiAngelo Ball has an Exhibit 10. We ain't doing no clickbait around here. Because we understand that we're dealing with people's lives. You know what I'm saying? Now, that's different from being critical of somebody's actions. We're grown men and women in new media. We can be critical and have our opinion about somebody's actions or something that they do publicly. But when it's something that's going on behind, like I know some information of some things that's going on with the Hornets. I know some information with some things that's going on with the Hawks. But I'm not about to get on here and say it. because I'm not trying to affect anybody's livelihood. That's how that works. You know what I'm saying? So, but now I don't know. I do not know. I'm not saying he is. I'm not saying he isn't. I'm going to tell you, I ain't going to try to be too hard, bro. If Lamelo don't make it, I'm going to be devastated, bro. I'm not going to pretend. You know what I'm saying? Heck no, I don't agree. Jonathan, you know I don't agree, bro. You know I don't agree with that. But I'm not going to pretend. I'm not going to act hard. If Lamelo does not make the All-Star game, I'm going to be devastated, bro. Like, I'm going to be devastated. One, for Lamelo and all the hard work he puts in, all of the extra shots he gets up around Charlotte, all of the things he's had to sacrifice on a team like this. I'm going to keep it real. He sacrificed a lot on a team like this. This is probably the most Lamelo 5 or 6 game stretch we've seen since Chino. You know what I'm saying? Because even at Spire, he had to temper his game down a little bit to get back on draft boards. So I will be devastated for the young man. I'm also going to be devastated for my 2 eyes because I'm not going to watch the All-Star game if he's not in it, because you're not selling me on Darius Garland or Fred VanVleet. You're not doing it, fam. I respect Fred VanVleet. I do. I really do. Darius Garland, I think I think Ricky Rubio could do better in that spot, to be real with you. Darius Garland, cool. He's a pick and roll player. That's who he is. He's just a pick and roll player. That's all this guy is, bro. He's a pick and roll guard that is exceeding expectations because teams have not figured out how to defend that high-low double pick and roll with Evan Mobley and Jared Allen. That's what it is, bro. I respect Fred VanVleet, but he's not better than LaMelo Ball, bro. He's not better than LaMelo Ball. He doesn't have the upside of LaMelo Ball. He's not bringing anything to the All-Star game that LaMelo Ball brings to the All-Star game. I will be absolutely devastated because I won't be watching the game. I'm not watching an All-Star game. Stop playing with me with Fred VanVleet and Darius Garland on the same team. But y'all can stop that, bro. What we running, pick and rolls in an All-Star game? Is that what we doing? We running pick and rolls in an All-Star game. No, bro, I'm not signing up for that. That's not what the All-Star game is. The All-Star game is to showcase your bag, to make the fans feel excited. You know what I'm saying? To captivate us, to let the next generation inspire to be an All-Star, not inspire to be a pick and roll guard, man. I'm not watching that, bro. I am not watching that, bro. I don't care. I'm not watching it. I'm not watching it. If Miles Bridges makes it, I'm not going to hate on Miles if he makes it and LaMelo don't. I got love for Miles Bridges. If Miles Bridges make it, I'll be happy. But I'm still not watching, bro. Because who going to get Miles the ball? Who throwing Miles the lobs? I will be happy for Miles. I'll support Miles. I'll retweet Miles' highlights. I'm not watching no Darius Garland, bro. Real, what's your take from Kyle about the Hornets needing a veteran player to settle the team? I didn't understand that concept. They need help playing defense. I think that's some off-season stuff, Trent. I think this off-season they do, and I've been telling Brother Train this low-key, somebody like a Carmelo Anthony, you do need a guy that has experienced extreme success on a successful level. I ain't talking about no Gordon Hayward. You do need a guy like Charles Oakley was talking about. You need a guy that can just pull somebody to the side, be like, hey, bro, these people about to be coming at you. Don't worry about the fans. Don't worry about this. Don't worry about coach talking this crazy stuff. Go out there and do you. You need a Udonis Haslem on the bench. You know what I'm saying? You need a guy that's an enforcer, so when it cracks off and LaMelo falls on his wrist, he can jump up and protect LaMelo like we seen guys protect Luka and other guys. You don't have that veteran presence on the team. I don't see Gordon Hayward publicly doing anything to rally the team. I don't see him when LaMelo's getting fouled hard, going over there and fighting for LaMelo or fighting for Miles. Now, what I will say about Gordon, this is what I do give him credit. Gordon has taken a step back, but his step back has not been a vocal step back. You know what I mean? You got Miles. They say Miles is the vocal leader right now. But the problem with Miles being the vocal leader right now, Miles, he's in a contract year. You can't have the vocal leader being in a contract year when he might not be here next year. The real problem with the Charlotte Hornets The real problem with the Charlotte Hornets is they don't have any roles. I don't know if they need Spike Lee down there, Tyler Perry. I don't know, but they need somebody to define roles on this team. Is Terry the leader? Is Miles the leader? You know what I'm saying? Who's the three-point marksman? Who's the pick-and-roll big? Theo 3. Bro, ain't nobody watching no Darius Garland, bro. Come on, bro. Theo, I love you, man. You pull up all the time. Bruh, ain't nobody watching no Darius Garland. Bruh, 500,000 people, and the game is in Cleveland, voted for Darius Garland, bro. Do you know that? The game is in Cleveland. He was playing 38 minutes during the All-Star voting stretch, and only 500,000 people voted for Darius Garland. Who the hell tuning in to watch that, bro? Darius Garland had 17 points a game last year. That's what he had. He averaged 17 points a game. He was the second man behind Colin Sexton. That's who he was. Darius Garland is a solid to good player. That's all he is. I'm not about to overrate him. Ricky Rubio, before his injury, damn near scored 40 in the Garden on the same team. Is Ricky Rubio an all-star? Is Ricky Rubio all-NBA? That tells me a lot. And the question that I always have for the Darius Garland supporters is this. You put Darius Garland on Charlotte. Where is Charlotte in the seedings? If you were to switch teams, this is how you pick an all-star. This is the correct way. Listen what I'm saying to you, NBA. This is the correct way that you pick an all-star. Coaches like Stan Van Gundy. If you put Darius Garland on Charlotte and you put Lamelo on Cleveland, do Lamelo's averages go up or do they go down? If you put Darius Garland on Charlotte, does his averages go up in a James Borrego system next to Terry Rozier, Gordon Hayward, and Miles Bridges, or do they go down? Now, I'm not discrediting, and Theo, I'm not discrediting Darius Garland. I'm placing him where he needs to be placed. You don't put a Ford Focus next to a Lamborghini. Ford Focus is a nice car. You don't put a hybrid next to a Ferrari. A hybrid is a nice car. It's a good car. It's an efficient car. Darius Garland is a nice hybrid. He's a nice family car. He's safe. Sometimes when nobody's looking, he'll throw a no-look pass and switch lanes real quick. He's a hybrid. Lamelo was a damn Ferrari. Who goes to the All-Star game to drive or watch a damn hybrid drive around the court? Come on, man. We're not pulling up to no All-Star game to see no hybrid car. We want to see the Ferrari. We want to see the McLaren. We want to see the Lamborghini. Stop playing, man. Mark Curse, I ain't, you know, brother, I ain't arguing about no damn fundamentals. I'm not arguing about none of that. All of this crazy stuff, we talking about Darius Garland, man. And I'm sorry, Theo, and you know I love basketball. I watch Cleveland play a lot. Remember, and the chat can vouch for me, bro. The chat can vouch for me. I was the one that said Darius Garland would make the All-Star over LaMelo Ball 2 months ago. So it's not like, shout out to Aquarius, it's not like I'm sitting up here and just saying this now, but I knew he was a mid. All right, I'm just going to make somebody mad. I knew he was an upgraded mid-pack back then, but I saw how Cleveland was using him, and I saw those 3 big trees out there, those redwoods, setting picks for him, and I said, yo, he gonna eat. And I see a situation where the Charlotte Hornets, in a game that they need to win in the East to stop the bleeding, run a play for P.J. Washington with Terry Rozier screening 7 foot or 6'11" Robert Williams III. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. Stop playing, bro. So, no, it's not the same. But ain't nobody asked my questions. Ain't nobody answer my question. If you put LaMelo on Cleveland with those 3 bigs and you put Darius Garland on Charlotte, Where is Darius Garland's averages, and does LaMelo's averages go up? First off, if you put Darius Garland on Charlotte, Darius Garland is the third option, the clear third option. They're going to run Gordon before him, they're going to run Terry before him, and they might run Miles before him because he's not going to have all that space being created by those trees. You put LaMelo with Jared Allen and Evan Mobley and Marketing knocking down threes, and Usman coming off the bench. I say Usman because that's the proper pronunciation in the Arabic. I can go into an entire history lesson. But anyway, Usman on the wing, knocking down threes. Come on, man. Ricky Rubio was out there looking like the second coming of our Pistol Pete Maravich. Man, we're not going to do this. We're not going to do this. But yeah, man, I'm looking forward to rocking with Kyle, man, and doing some on the podcast so we can have a little bit more time because it's too much. It's too much to say in that time space. But I appreciate him pulling up, man. Let's get busy, man. The Boston Celtics and the Charlotte Hornets last night. Theo 3. Hold on. You saying if Darius Garland was in Charlotte with no offense being ran with it for him like LaMelo, he would still be averaging 19 points a game off of the dribble, curating his own shot, finishing over bigs, when scouts say the weakest part of his game is finishing over bigs. Come on, Theo. You must be from Cleveland. I ain't mad at you, dog. I ain't mad at you. Y'all hit the like button. Let's get over 100 likes. If we ain't over 100 likes in 10 minutes, we getting up out of here. Like they say in Chicago, we got to get up out of there. We got to get up out of there. Look, Charlotte Hornets roll up to Boston TD Garden to face the Celtics last night. And I was telling everybody on the live stream, look, it's about to be an ugly stretch. Charlotte and these teams do not match up well. These teams are athletic. They have a lot of length on the wings. I said Robert Williams will be back. I said Marcus Smart will be back. This will not be the same goddamn game. You're absolutely right, Horncat. He'd be a more efficient Devontae Graham. Check me out, though. So, the game starts off, and I knew the Hornets were in trouble. And if you go and rewind the stream, in the first quarter, I said, unless LaMelo has a transcendent night tonight, the Charlotte Hornets have no chance of winning this game or staying in this game. Somebody, hey, I need y'all to speak for me in the chat, man. Allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is Fuse, R to the EV. I do this thing, break them down real easy. Come on, man. Come on. Did I not say that? I said if LaMelo does not have a transcendent game tonight, the Charlotte Hornets have absolutely, positively no chance against this team. Bro, I'm not a prophet. I'm a normal dude. You know how I knew that? Because I actually look at the games, and I'm not looking at the games biasly. I'm the guy that asks the question before every game. Hold on. Stop me if this sounds familiar to y'all. Y'all probably heard this question before. What question, Lithouse chat, do we ask before every damn game? Huh? What question do we ask before every damn game? Also, I know the Deadverse got to feel stupid about them conspiracies if Jello is starting today. Y'all look dumber and dumber by the day. I guess the conspiracy stopped for one day to let them start. But what question do we ask before every game? Good Melo. Bad Melo. Good Melo. Bad Melo. Good Melo. Bad Melo. So, bro, we watching these games objectively. You hear Brother Train over and over when he coming on the stream. We asking this man, hey, Brother Train ask him every time, would you please stop the damn jelly fams? Forget the jelly, bro. Dunk on somebody. Every time LaMelo misses a free throw, I damn near have a stroke. And I go on a 15-minute tangent about LaMelo missing his free throws. Do we not do this over here in the Lithouse? I'm just asking. Okay, so I'm being objective watching the game, and I'm saying to myself, Marcus Smart gonna make Terry Rozier life a living hell. Robert Williams is going to destroy anything coming to the rack unless you can get up and under and finish efficiently and pull them out with the floater. Listen to what I'm describing, okay? It sounds like one player on the Hornets. Marcus Smart is going to give Terry Rozier hell because sometimes against more aggressive athletic defenders, Terry struggles to get his own shot. That's why he shoots so many drifting fadeaway threes falling out of bounds, okay? Robert Williams is blocking everything that's going up towards the rim unless you're limber enough to go up and under and pull them out with a floater. Doesn't that sound like a particular player that's able to do both? Able to create his own shot, able to get to the rack and finish underneath traffic or around traffic, and able to shoot a floater. What player on the Charlotte Hornets is able to do that? Y'all feel like y'all in class today. I know it. Y'all must feel like y'all in class. Y'all didn't know y'all was going to be a part of the show. But you are. Who? He said Book. I ain't never seen Book shoot no goddamn floater in my life, man. I ain't seen Book shoot a floater yet. Y'all know damn well. Lamelo LaFranc Bull. He is the only one that right now is a consistent 3-level scorer on the Charlotte Hornets. 3-level scorer with the multifaceted kit tool. To the point, and I love you, Jamal Crawford, bro. Look, I used to damn near break my ankles after practice trying to do that Jamal Crawford behind the back crossover, back behind the back hop step with the right hand. Bro, every day I was working on that. I love you, Jay Crawford. But it's to the point where Jamal Crawford is on damn Twitter because he being compared to Lamelo, looking like a goddamn fan. And I love you. Jamal was so damn happy that Lamelo retweeted it. He's like, oh, Melo. He's like, Melo, my son watched it. You watched my son. Like he was just going crazy, man. So anybody that's being compared to Jamal Crawford got them things. Lamelo is a multi-tool scorer, not just facilitator. And that's why he's Charlotte's best player. I tell all my young point guards, listen, more than anything, especially if you're 6'4" or higher. If you're 6'4" or higher at the point guard position, get you a pack of handles. It'll take you anywhere in the world. If you can handle that basketball and you 6'4" or higher, bro, the NBA, they're going to come to you. Because if a guy can get to his spots, he can produce at his spots. You're setting yourself up to produce at your spots. If you need somebody else to set you up, you might end up being a 3-and-D. I'm trying to tell you, man. So when I'm watching that game last night, I'm like, bro, it's going just like I thought. Terry wasn't doing nothing in the first quarter. Mason Plumlee was being abused by Robert Williams III. He was being abused. Couldn't get a rebound. Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown were being aggressive. Richardson, who don't never hit nothing, was hitting every 3-point shot. I said, boy, them boys is in trouble. But quietly, and selectively, I looked up, and somebody in the chat said it. We had an appearance from good Melo. I looked up, Melo had 11 of them things. And the score was closer than I thought. I said, well, damn, good Melo. I didn't know you was coming to Boston tonight. And if he misses the All-Star tonight, it will make all that much more sense. Because that means we saw a little bit of angry Melo last night. If he does make it, that means he's feeling confident right now. But no, I did not know that. Good Melo had pulled up in Boston. I didn't know it. And it was like a 7-point lead. Lamelo comes out of the game. Lead go up to 10. I'm like, oh, my God. The game is over. But shout out to the Suicide Squad. They came in. They did the best that they could. They battled. They fought. They battled. They fought. They fought. They battled. They fought. They fought. And they actually took the lead. So I'm like, damn, the Suicide Squad fighting, you got to get LaMelo back in here. Miles Bridges, as much as some people are critical of Miles Bridges, if you look at the beginning of that game, Melo and Miles kept them in the game. Miles would score, Melo would score. Melo would score, Miles would score. Miles would score, Melo would score. You see what I'm saying? Then all of a sudden, inexplicably, Miles Bridges is out the game. And he doesn't come back into the game until midway through the second quarter. And I'm like, what are we doing? What are we doing here? But I understood what was happening. I just didn't say it out loud. They didn't want to run Kelly Oubre or James Bouknight at that 2 and have Miles run that 3, because if you do that, who looks expendable? It's like class today, y'all. I'm trying to tell y'all. We having class today. Who looks expendable if they run that rotation? Huh? Who looks expendable? Y'all subscribe to the channel if they run that rotation. If Book comes in and cooks, or if Kelly Oubre slides to that 2 with Miles out there, who looks expendable? Jonathan says Miles. No, Miles is on the court in this scenario. I'm going to break it down. I'm going to break it down so it can forever and consistently be, bro. I'm going to break it down. Terry and Gordon, absolutely. Absolutely. And you can't just let Kelly Oubre come back into the rotation in Boston where he cooked last time, or the last time you saw him on the court was the Indiana Pacers. You can't just take him too far out of the rotation. So you got to play him, and the expendable person that you take out the lineup is Miles. That's why Terry is playing all of these extended minutes, because Book is breathing down Terry's neck now. So now the odd man out in the lineup, if you really pay attention, out of the starting lineup, the odd men out in the starting lineup to always sacrifice their minutes. Don't count Mason Plumlee. He don't even count. But the 2 guys that are always the guys that have to sacrifice are the same guys that came off the bench last year together. Melo Ball and Miles Bridges. LaMelo Ball and Miles Bridges are always the guys that are going to have to sacrifice their minutes. Bro, I've been watching it, bro. Slack, he went on damn defensive liability. That was another bad take they had. So, around 5 minutes, you know what I'm saying? Around 5 minutes in the second quarter, Miles finally comes back in the game. I'm like, what in the world? Miles comes back in, cold as ice. He cold. You know what I'm saying? He out of it. He out of it, right? Melo comes in around about 4:18. I'm like, bro, what is you doing, cuz? Like, as we say in Atlanta, what is you doing, Shawty? Shawty, what you doing, bro? Well, you about dumb as hell, boy. Like, come on, bro. This is a chance for you to extendo, to run it up. You don't want to keep this game tight. They're in Boston. You just beat them in Boston without their games. You're not winning no close game here now. Yeah, I saw that about the doctors. But another thing that stood out to me. Shout out to Brother Barch in the Blue Flame. That whistle's starting to blow for LaMelo a lot, ain't it? Let me get my Denzel on. My ninja. That whistle's starting to blow for LaMelo now, ain't it? I ain't never seen LaMelo Ball get something. In the last week and a half, LaMelo Ball is starting to get superstar calls. I saw a play when LaMelo was going to the rack and Jaylen Brown straight up stripped him. And LaMelo said, oh, and he went to the free throw line. I said, boy, the worm done turned. I said, the worm done turned. Shout out to Mad Titan Ant. I said, this man getting calls like that now, B? I said, he to the point where he could just run through there, and he gonna get a call? I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. LaMelo is starting to get calls. And like I told y'all, Charlotte media, some of my friends in Charlotte media, the man will start going to the rack once he gets calls. What sense does it make? I would do it. I used to do it. I ain't gonna lie. But what sense does it make to keep going to the rack and break your damn wrist again? Because they're not making a call. Lamelo getting in the line. Oh, going through the lane. Oh, Lamelo be up there. Bro, it's to the point where Lamelo is low-key. I'm going to keep it real. I got to be real around here. Lamelo low-key be like Luka. Y'all know how every call, Luka wants a foul. Every play, Luka wants a foul. And Luka will go walk up to the ref for 5 plays straight and be on the referee. LaMelo's gotten to that point, bro. LaMelo's gotten to the point where he will walk up to the official after every time for the next 3 plays at the free throw line for somebody else, and he be in their ear like, so you're not going to call that foul? Bro, if you listen, you can hear what Melo's saying. Bro, you got to call something. You ain't going to call that. So you ain't see him hit me on my arm. Bro, that's superstar stuff, bro. That's superstar. When I saw that man come through the lane in the second quarter and say, oh, I said, it's over with. I said, he's arrived. Because they blew the whistle. And he's not in Charlotte. He was in Boston. Oh, the only time that works is for like Kobe's and Jordans and LeBrons and Lukas and Steph's and stuff like that. Bro, let me tell you something, NBA. Let me tell you, Charlito, Hernitos, my amigos, if you start letting LaMelo Ball get to that line 7 or 8 times a game, good God almighty, you're going to mess around and see 25 points a game, bro. You're going to mess around and see 25 points a game. If you add Anthony Edwards free throws and Cade Cunningham free throws to what LaMelo's doing, woo, Lord, bro. I thought we was going to get a 40 burger last night. I thought we were going to get a 40 burger. That's how real it was, man. Vegas baby KJ, he had 10 last week too. That's what I'm telling y'all. The man had Tendo, Extendo, full clip. That's what he had. So when I saw that, I knew good things would have come. But JB kept him out. It's hot as hell up in the studio. Hold on, y'all. Y'all got to bear with me, fam. I'm hot. I'm sorry. I'm hot. Hold on. We in the Lithouse. Run the likes up, share the video, like the video. If you leave, you leave. It's hot. I got to turn the heat off. It's hot. All right, I'm back. You get some of the Schweppes. Bring some of the Schweppes. All right, I'm back. All right. So, yeah, man. Yeah, he missed some free throws. He smoked the layup. Melo could have had 45 like Jordan number. Melo could have had 45 like Jello number. Welcome to the firehouse, but we don't do subs. So, yeah, man. And Miles Kelly, I'm going to answer your question in a second, bro. I'm going to answer your question in a second. Y'all run the likes up. We should be over 130 likes by now. Let's get over 130 likes. Who doing it like the family doing it, player? We got full production for you. Charlotte media, NBA players, bro. New media. We did not come to take part. We came to take over. All right? Let's keep working, family. Bruh. So I'm sitting there and I'm watching the floor of the game, and I'm like, okay, well, Terry is picking his spots. He hitting some shots in spots. The Suicide Squad fought. PJ was fighting. PJ was fighting last night. I wish he was fighting in Indiana right now, but he was fighting last night. So I'm like, okay, this is within reach. So I know James Bouknight about to come in the game. I know you're not going to play Terry Rozier a total of 80 minutes in the last 2 games. I know that ain't. I know that's not what you're doing. Any moment, James Bouknight is coming into this game. Any moment. At any moment, James Bouknight is coming into this. I just know he's coming into the game. I know he's coming into the game. He never did. I look on the floor. Cody Martin is out there once again playing like he's a top 5 player on the Hornets. Like he's a top 5 player on the Hornets. I'm like, what is going on? So you wait to bring Miles in. You wait to bring Lamelo in. And no Book Knight, who's been upping his defensive intensity with each game. I'm like, okay. They go into halftime. I think it's a 1-point lead. Third quarter starts. Sometimes because LaMelo gets off. Because like I said, this is how I explain LaMelo. All right. Miles is at the point in his career, he is slowly starting to figure out. Because last year made him fall in love with the three. So at the beginning of the season, he was doing a lot of step-back threes. What Miles has realized, anytime I lower my shoulder, anyone in front of me is a victim and I can get to the rack. When Miles wants to get a bucket, he can get it, really. Sometimes the team is going to make the adjustment and they're going to counter. But 9 times out of 10, when Miles wants to get to the rack, he can get to the rack, get a good shot. Because he's so athletic, he's so big that really he shields you with his shoulder. And he's ambidextrous. A lot of teams think he's just a left-hand player, but he finishes just as good with his right as his left. So Miles has finally clicked and said, okay, I got to stop shooting all these threes and just get to the rack for my averages, right? LaMelo is still at the point in his career. It's like God just bow. It's like God just dropped that wild tao sauce on him. He dropped that wild tao sauce on him. And there's just talent oozing out of LaMelo, right? But he doesn't quite know how to incorporate it all consistently in one night. That's why I said on the stream last night, sometimes LaMelo coming out there, he diming that thing up. You know, you get room service. Can I help you, sir? He hit that boy. He hit that boy Mason Plumlee. Bro, Jonathan, did you see him deliver in the fourth quarter that room service dime to Mason Plumlee on the backside when Richardson stepped up to help? He said, would you like some Grey Poupon, sir? He came through the lane like, would you like some jelly on your toast, sir? Like he set the boy up so nasty, right? So sometimes LaMelo like this. And then sometimes LaMelo is going to the rack, all the jelly falling. But he can't hit nothing for three. And then sometimes he come out there looking like the best three-point shooter in the NBA, pulling up from 33 feet, water, 7-8 threes, but can't hit a layup. And then sometimes he can hit a layup, but he can't hit his floater. And sometimes he can hit his floater, but he can't hit his layup. To Jonathan Brand's point last night, I like to use art as analogies for life and metaphors for life. If any of y'all are familiar with a classic late 20th century series called Dragoneth Balleth Z, there's a character named Gohan. Shout out to Macrina Daniels. There's a character named Gohan, right? And this character is the son of Goku. And he really maximizes his power when he's fighting against a character named Perfect Cell. To me, last night, LaMelo was like Gohan fighting Perfect Cell. He started to figure things out. Oh, this Jaylen Brown. He can't stay in front of me. Oh, these dudes moving too slow. I'm going to cook him in the corner for three. Oh, Robert Williams is a good defender. But outside, between 15 feet and 17 feet, he's dead. Floaty. That boy saw more floaters last night than root beer. A&W Barks, hello? The man had more floaters last night than root beer. He was bringing that man out to 17 to 15 feet and just, hello, to the point where Robert Williams he was so jumpy when he would go out there on LaMelo. Now the paint opening up. So Robert Williams would hurry up and jump, and LaMelo would go up and down and rock the cradle and jelly fan. Bro, it was beautiful basketball. So I'm watching LaMelo figure Cell out. You know what I'm saying? He figuring Cell out. He figuring, well, I can do this, I can do that, I can do this, I can do that. I'm feeling myself. Like LaMelo always say, he was feeling like him. Last night, LaMelo was feeling like him. I saw a grown man. I'm seeing muscle start go. I'm like, okay. Now which one of y'all, like Mike Lowry told Marcus on Bad Boys, that's how you shoot. I'm like, now which one of y'all gonna be the ride or die tonight? Which one of the others is gonna step up? Miles got punched in his mouth or elbowed or something. He out for the third quarter. I'm like, who is going to be the other guy that rises to the level? It never happened. You got little contributions here. You got little contributions there. Never happened. I'm disgusted. I'm sitting back and I'm watching and I'm disgusted. The team didn't rise to LaMelo's level last night in the third quarter. And that's why that lead ballooned to 10. Absolutely, Count Dooku. When you start seeing that you got a guy like that can keep you in the game against teams that you're clearly outmatched against, you got to start making moves, or the pressure it's going to do it nationally. Locally, I understand they're not doing it, but we're going to push them to do it. It's going to flip the pressure on Borrego and Mitch Kupchak. That's what's about to happen. All the pressure is about to be on James Borrego and Mitch Kupchak to figure it out. And to make moves from Mitch Kupchak to get LaMelo some help. Because last night, while LaMelo was doing it, I'm thinking this team is just not good enough. Anytime Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, or Robert Williams wanted a bucket, they could get a bucket. Because there was no resistance from Mason Plumlee. And when you took PJ out, even though PJ was hitting some threes, everything he hit on the defensive end, he gave right back on the offensive end. On the offensive end, he gave right back on the defensive end. That's why in the fourth quarter, when you had Terry Rozier guarding Jason Tatum, when LaMelo was locking him up, hold up, that's a Rap You Should remix. Shout out to Loaded Lux. Rap You Should remix. When LaMelo was locking Jason Tatum up, it's not a good day for old media. It's not a good day for old NBA scouts. No. It's not a good day. LaMelo Ball got isolated. They ran some action to get Jason Tatum isolated on LaMelo Ball. That 6'7" frame showed up last night. It hit different. And this is why it hit different. What people don't understand, they were calling Lonzo a horrible defender before he came in the league, when he first came in the league. But what you don't understand is, if you're a point guard with a high IQ basketball-wise, right, half of the game of playing defense is anticipating the move that your opponent is going to make. All three Ball brothers are savants. I've watched Jello up close in Summer League. I've covered them in Greensboro. I watched Lonzo through the Lakers and the Bulls. I barely watched the Pelicans. And the Pelicans, right? And I've watched LaMelo damn near every game, home game in Charlotte. LaMelo, Lonzo at the point guard position have a very uncanny ability to predict the move that the offensive player is going to make. Now, LaMelo, at this point, he goes from being Gohan to Goku Ultra Instinct. I got to find this play on Twitter. Give me a second. I got to find it. I'm going to show y'all on camera. Man. Whoever posted that, let me find this play, bro. I found it. Get over 100 likes. Look at this. Y'all can't really see that. Hold on. That's LaMelo down there in the corner. He locking Jason Tatum up. They running action to get him switched off. They're running action to get him switched off. LaMelo is anticipating each way that Jason Tatum is going, bro. Every move that Jason Tatum make, LaMelo is there locking his. Look, we used to have this thing when I was in high school and I went to college with me as well. Because one time we played FAMU in a scrimmage and it was lit. But anyway, we used to have this thing we used to do in college. Like when somebody was about to get locked at the top of the key like a guard, we used to do this thing, ankle shackles on the court, right? Like we'll be coming down the court on the defensive end and we'll lock it up. LaMelo was out there like this, bro. He was out there like this, bro. He was out there like this, bro. He was shackling him, bro. And this is why I say it was great defense. It's not about it being LaMelo. If you go and study that play, when Jason Tatum hit hard right before he even made the move, LaMelo had jumped it. And that's why he lost the ball and it went out of bounds. Before he made the move, LaMelo anticipated. And when he anticipated it, Jason Tatum thought he was about to steal the ball because he was already there. So he tried to in and out it, but he was so jumpy, thinking that the reach was coming, the ball went out of bounds. Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Maximus Aurelius, I'm breaking it down for you. LaMelo was in that boy head. It was some Goku Ultra Instinct stuff. Bum, 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 bum. Bruh, it was Ultra Instinct, bruh. It was Ultra Instinct, bruh. I saw it. I said, ooh. Boy, don't mess around, get no defense, boy. Don't let this 6'7" young boy mess around, get some defense, boy. Bruh, hold on. Everybody not named Mike Schmitz. Colin Coward, you're wrong. Skip Bayless. What's the boy? Goodman, you're trash. Bill Simmons, trash. All of you guys that was talking reckless about LaMelo's defense, I want to let you know today, somebody from the Lithouse is going to clip up my voice and my face, and they're going to combine it with that Jason Tatum. And Bill Simmons, I know you love the Celtics. 2 defensive plays where LaMelo is locking your boy up. Akon ain't never do time like Jason Tatum did. 2 possessions. And, bro, these ain't regular possessions. These are what you call over-the-top plays that get you switched up on a certain player. They wanted Jason Tatum switched off on LaMelo twice. And both times, he locked them up. Trying to tell y'all, he put them clamps. Somebody from New Media is going to tag you in it, and you're going to block them. And then somebody else going to tag them in it, and you're going to block them. And then somebody else going to tag them in it, because that's what we are. We're Cerberus. You cut one of our head off, 1,000,000 grow. That's what we are, family. Y'all got to answer for them bad takes. Y'all need to come and sit down before us and answer for your bad takes, your bad scouting. Some of y'all getting paid $100,000 to do that trash scouting, bruh. That a guy sitting in the studio who ain't played ball in 8-9 years on a college level is doing better than you. Man, Bill Simmons, boy, he better enjoy his chowder. He better enjoy his chowder and his socks and his red socks and leave me alone. Y'all run the likes up, share the video, like the video, subscribe to the tribe. We in the Lithouse. Shout out to everybody, New Media family, New Media gang, man. It's wild style. It's wild style. So I'm seeing this happen. Then all of a sudden, once again, kudos to the coach of the Boston Celtics. Kudos to the coach of the Boston Celtics. Because he was sitting there analyzing everything and making adjustments. Every time out that Coach James Borrego blew, that guy used it as a time to counter whatever they were doing. So instead of running towards Lamelo defensively now, they started getting the switch on Jason Tatum and Terry Rozier. And that was the end of the game. Yes, I'm going to be very critical of that second to last play that they ran. Oh, my God. But when they switch Jason Tatum, and I'm going to start calling him Jason Tatum, the transporter, onto Terry Rozier, Schweppes, he went to beating Terry Rozier like Mike Tyson versus Trevor Burbank. Like Mike Tyson versus Mitch Green in front of Dapper Dan. He was abusing Terry Rozier. Jaylen Brown hit that boy Terry Rozier as the shot clock was going down with a dream shake from 15 foot. Wetted him. Like, pow, 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 pow. Chris Brown move. Like, this is why they traded you. And ran the other end of the court and was like, so disrespectful. Did y'all see that when Jaylen Brown did that? He hit him with the, I call this the trade package. You know about it. Wetty, and ran back down the court. You too well. I said, oh, God's face. Then Jason Tatum came back down. My bad. Jason Statham came back down. Saucy got to the rack and won. Mixtape, volume U. Bruh, it was wild, man. It was wild. They was beating that boy like somebody's little brother came to the big ball court. They was beating Terry Rozier like he was the youngest in the family. Like that was, hey, Melo, get your little brother. Bruh, it was bad, bruh. It was bad, bruh. It was bad. Now, at this point, I cannot be too critical on Coach James Borrego. This is where we got to look at the personnel. Because we asked him to come out of that zone because the zone is getting the murk. But you can't really run the man, but he had to. So anytime he would run the man, the coach of the Celtics, bro, he would just make the adjustment and get the switches that he wanted. Now, Terry is 6'1". He's 6'1". Terry's 6'1". He's not no 6'3". Terry's 6'1". But from what I've seen him in person. He looks 6'1" to me. Maybe 6'2". Maybe 6'2". That's why Rozier should be the sixth man. Exactly. True that. Tatum there have a get out of jail free card. Y'all run the likes up, share the video, like the video, subscribe to the channel, man. Thank y'all for pulling up, man. Nah, Mike, look, Mike, it ain't about no slander, bro. We just talking about the tape, bro. We ain't talking about nothing else because Terry did some good things that game. Bro, but your man got cooked, bro. Like, he got cooked, bro. If it was Melo, I'd be like, yo, Melo got cooked. I don't care. Bruh, dog, you go at Jaylen Brown and be like, man, the Terry Rozier slander is getting OD. It was called a trade package. Oh, you don't know why you got traded? I play the two guard. I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you real quick why you got traded. I'm going to show you, like they say in the shower, why you got to fight it up. Water. That's what they did. That's what he did. Don't get mad at me. I wasn't the one running down the court in Boston. No, that's what happened. Shout out to Michael Johnson. It was wild, man. Y'all subscribe to the channel. It was wild. But yeah, man. So, bro, Terry is a six man. It's cool. He cool. But in that starting rotation, he's too much of a defensive liability. He's too much of a defensive liability. So then Jason Tatum just started getting to the rack. Get to the free throw line. Terry doing the best that he can. He hagging Terry like, God, somebody help. But another genius thing that the Celtics coach did, he was stretching the other guys like Richardson and number 12. I can never remember number 12 for Boston's name. I can never remember this dude's name. But number 12, I think it's Williams. It might be Williams or Johnson, something like that. But he would put him in the weak corner. He would put Richardson in the strong corner, and he would swap them sometimes. That way, because Mason Plumlee, they're trying to hide Mason Plumlee on defense because laterally he's no good on that pick and roll. So what they do is they run. It looked like a 2-2-1. It looked like a 2-2-1. It looked like they got 2 at the top, 2 in the wing instead of a 1-2-2. It looked like a 2-2-1 where they got 2 at the top, 2 at the 15-foot box, and they got Mason Plumlee under the rack that's really supposed to be covering baseline to baseline, but he can't do that, so they only tell him to cover block to block. So it's on the bottom 2 guys on the 2-2-1 to Grant Williams. I knew it was Williams. Thank you, Mozart. It's on the bottom 2 guys on the 2-2-1 to get out there on the shooters. That's too much, bro. It's the NBA, bro. This ain't high school. Do you know how far that is to come from that block, that top block, to that bottom corner? So the coach of the Celtics is like, oh, you fool. Mason Plumlee just out here. He ain't scaring nobody. So they would get the ball in the corner to Grant Williams and Richardson, and they were just killing them for 3 because Mason Plumlee's a liability. So you got Terry that's a liability. You got Mason Plumlee that's a liability. So they just start getting to the rack, boom, boom, bing, bong. You know what I'm saying? They would get to the rack, bing, bong. You know what I mean? And if you help from that block, then Jason Tatum is kicking it out to Williams or Richardson. If you don't help, then Jason Statham, the transporter, is eating, getting to the line. They was hitting their free throws. So it gets to a point where the Hornets, they fight. I got to give them credit. They always fighting, man. They fight. That team fights. That team fights, right? So they get on the other end of the floor, and Terry hits the 3. He hits the 3. Then he shoots an ill-advised 3. Then Marcus Smart gets to the line because of Terry's crazy shooting. And then he comes back down and he hits the 3. PJ hits the 3. On a similar stagger play where they run Kelly Oubre and Miles Bridges at the high block at the free throw line. And PJ acts like he's screening for them and pops out on a flare on the wing, hits the 3. That gets him within 1. Jason Tatum comes back down, gets fouled by Terry again, gets to the line. What disturbs me, though, is on a night where Lamelo is cooking like he is. Cal, I'm glad we had Cal on because it gives me more insight to the organization and lets me know they don't believe in Lamelo like that. They don't believe in Lamelo like that. Because even when he's cooking, you never see them let him be the guy in the offense. Like any other team down the stretch, play after play, they would have started going and running through Lamelo. Not Lamelo setting it up. Because see, a lot of y'all saying, well, on Twitter, they saying, well, Lamelo shouldn't have passed it. Bro, these are drawn plays. Like, these are slow developing plays. That shot that Terry hit the tie of the game, that curl, that was a play. LaMelo's job was to stay on the wing, keep the ball and the defender isolated where their eyes are on him and the help defense is on him while Terry curls up to the top and catches it for 3. And on the stagger play and the flare play to PJ, it's the same kind of action. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, no matter how much he's cooking, it's like they're always thinking in the back of his mind, or their mind, they don't trust him or he's going to mess it up. So they start running this offense through PJ and Terry. Remember that play with Kelly Oubre and Miles Bridges where PJ cuts it to 1 and Terry cuts it to 3. Now they go and hit a free throw and it's 3-point game. And instead of, bro, it's a 2-for-1. It's a 2-for-1 opportunity. So dealing with a young team that doesn't have a lot of situational awareness, situational basketball, I'm not tripping on the timeout. I would rather you not do it. But if you take the timeout, the only thing you should be telling only 2 guys, maybe Miles, but 2 guys, Terry and LaMelo or LaMelo and Terry. It's a 2-for-1 opportunity. Inbound man is going to pass it to the ball handler who is going to get to the rack. I am going to set Miles on the weak side corner with the freedom to rotate up to the wing, and I'm going to put Kelly on the strong side of the right-hand driving ball handler's hand. So if when you drive to the rack, Lamelo or Terry, you can kick it out to the corner if they double you. If they don't double you, I don't care if you get your shot blocked. Try to get to the rack and finish and draw the foul. That's a 2-for-1 opportunity. The only thing James Borrego should have been telling them is 5 seconds or less. That's it. 5 seconds or less. Bruh. But I'm watching. I'm looking at him draw up this play. I'm looking at LaMelo's face, and I'm saying this is not going to be for LaMelo. This is not going to be for LaMelo. I knew it. But I wasn't tripping. I said, okay, maybe it's going to be for Terry to get north and south, get a quick little scoop layup, and tie the game, and then you're playing for either overtime or you're playing for the last second because you left enough time on the clock. Nope. This man, in only a way that James Borrego can do, takes a full time out to draw up a flare screen play for P.J. Washington. For P.J. Washington, fam. This man drew up a flare screen play for P.J. Washington. And I can prove to y'all. Go follow me on Twitter right now. I'm about to type my Twitter in right now so y'all can go follow and go look at my film sessions with Rab, because YouTube doesn't let me do it because they copyright me. Go check out the film session with Rab. On the film session with Rev, I break it down frame by frame in 3 parts. This man, no, Alberto, no. First off, PJ was 3 for 7, bro, or 4 for 8, something like that. Might have been 3 for 7. If you're going to run that play, Alberto, let's say you run that play. You don't run that play in 2-for-1 action. That's what Kyle had to concede when he came up here. You never run that play in 2-for-1 action because it's too slow developing. You're on the road. You want to get as many attempts as you can to win the game. So all you need to run is a north and south. Y'all remember the play that Giannis Antetokounmpo, that the coach for the Milwaukee Bucks ran for Giannis Antetokounmpo to beat the Charlotte Hornets? Y'all remember that play? Okay, so it's a simple play. Never seen Borrego run this play. All it is a guy inbounds on the corner half court line, right? There's a screener that is sitting there ready to screen for the moving man that is Giannis Antetokounmpo, right? So the passer just passes it to Giannis on the move so that you don't have time to recover. And if you do recover, 9 times out of 10 it's going to be an easy layup or a foul. You get downhill. You can do that in 3 or 4 seconds or left. You got a 6-7 point guard who has 38 points. If he gets to the rim and he makes the wrong decision, you live with it. You fought hard. You just lost. But you got a better situation putting Kelly Oubre on that backside where if LaMelo drives, he can kick it if help comes, and Kelly can sink the 3 for the win, or at least you get the ball back quick. Or you leave yourself room to get the ball back on a 2-for-1. Bruh, it took damn near 6 or 7 seconds to run that slow developing P.J. Washington flare screen, man. You did all of that to run that play? If you're going to run that play because PJ is hot, and PJ Washington is never taking a last-second shot. He's never taken a last-second shot with LaMelo Ball and Miles Bridges on the team. You're never taking that shot with PJ Washington. I mean, with LaMelo Ball and Miles Bridges on the team. There's no reason for you to do that. And Kelly Oubre on the floor. There's no reason. I don't care how hot you are. There's no reason for that. Not in Boston. No. Not in Boston. So, it's a situation where this happens, and he's on the backside. LaMelo's he's on the front side of the play. They inbound the ball, and they run. And some Charlotte Hornets fans are confused. They are confused, right? They don't get it. They think the play was for Terry Rozier. Let me prove to you why it wasn't for Terry Rozier. Terry and the coach from the Celtics, very smart, had hit that shot 2 times. So James Borrego, thinking that he's going to out-coach the coach of the Boston Celtics. Shout out to Tell the Truth. You done missed it, bro. But he's thinking he's going to outsmart the coach of the Boston Celtics. He, instead of running that over-the-top curl play for Terry, he runs the stagger flare for PJ. So what happens is LaMelo's on the wing, wasting time, not attacking, not dribbling nowhere because he's running the play. And Terry acts like he's going to shake off Marcus Smart, right? Then he goes down and then comes back up and stops, then goes back down and runs directly diagonally towards Robert Williams III and sets a horrible pick. And I understand because he didn't want to get hit with a moving screen, but he sets a horrible pick and allows Robert Williams to have enough space with his length to collapse on PJ or converge and contest PJ's shot. The reason why you know this play was not for Terry Rozier, because don't let nobody in Charlotte lie to y'all. If you look at that play and you study that play, Marcus Smart did jump the screen, but he jumped the backdoor cut. He didn't jump the screen that would have been for the play. His back was turned. He's expecting the screen to come lower, not higher. So if you look in slow motion, Marcus Smart's back is turned to the high screen. So if PJ would have blocked him, if PJ would have set the screen, then he would have been able to come off that screen correctly, and Terry would have been open for that 3. But because the play was ran the way that it was ran, PJ Washington never really sets the screen. Terry goes and tries to set that weak screen for Smart and for Robert Williams. PJ pops out, and the rest is history. Y'all ever seen a pick play in football where a wide receiver, the slot receiver, sets a pick for the Z or the X, and the Z or the X comes inside and scores an easy touchdown? The play that the Seattle Seahawks tried to run notoriously against the New England Patriots when they should have just gave the ball to Marshawn Lynch, that was the exact same thing Terry was doing. He was trying to rub and take out 2 guys at once. It's just a horrible play design. He was trying to take out 2 guys at once with his action. He wanted Marcus Smart to run with him, and on the way he was going to chip Robert Williams and leave PJ open. But you just ran similar action. So what the coach did of the Celtics, he told them in the timeout, no matter what happens, don't switch. Which means he gambled. Because if you were called not to switch, if a pick would have came on a normal pick and roll for Lamelo would have had a wide open lane going to the rack. He would have been one-on-one with Robert Williams going to the rack. So Lamelo could have pump fake, got him in the air, got the foul, or he could have reversed and hit a layup, or shot a floater like he shot the whole game. That's all he had to do. Because they were told not to switch. The reason why that play got blown up, because Marcus Smart didn't switch off on PJ. He stayed with Terry, and Robert Williams stayed with PJ, with left it wide open for him to block. That's a breakdown. That's a breakdown. Let's get to a hundo. Y'all playing around. Let's get to a hundo. Y'all feel what I'm saying? Y'all feel what I'm saying? Y'all understand me? So that's what's going on. And yes, Yellow started today. I might check out a little bit while we on here. But yeah, man. That's what happened. What did y'all feel about the game, man? What did y'all feel about the game? What did y'all feel about that last play? Yeah, that's what I was trying to tell Cal, man. It sure looks like it. It sure looks like it. And the Greensboro Swarm game is tied. I guess I'll cover the end of this Greensboro Swarm game.
At the right elbow, and then the blue coats on the other side as the clock was running down.
Let's see what happens. Y'all getting a special treat. We're going to watch the end of this Greensboro Swarm game. That was supposed to be a signature game. Yeah, and JB got in the way. He's a system coach. He's a bridge coach. They got a superstar now, so they need a superstar coach. They need a guy that knows how to coach a superstar. If you don't know how to coach a superstar, then it's not good for you. Y'all run the likes up, share the video, like the video, subscribe to the channel. Did DKM do a stream on Jello? If he did, I'm not going to cover this. Is DKM live right now? Because if so, I don't want to cover this. Somebody let me know if DKM is live. Y'all run the likes up, share the video, like the video, subscribe. We will be doing something for the All-Star announcement. Okay, so DKM is live. I'm getting off. I don't want to touch this if DKM is on there. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, man. So yeah, we'll be back later on. Make sure y'all share and subscribe the video. Y'all let me know. Do y'all think Lamelo gonna make the All-Star though? Are y'all worried about what Cal said when he came up? Do y'all think that he's gonna make an All-Star? Will Lamelo make an All-Star? Will his name be announced tonight? That's the question. Me, myself, personally, I do not know. Sean Bless said, not worry, he'll make it. We're going to see. BZ the Great says, CZ the Great says, yes, Melo will make an All-Star. Say, cool. The game going to be over by the time we get off here. Nicole Powell says, good Melo or bad Melo. Horncat says, yes. I believe the Melo will be an All-Star, says Malaya. I'm telling y'all, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know either way. I don't know. I'm not going to act like I do. I'm not going to act like I don't. I don't know. Sekou says, yes, sir. Trent says, yes. Like I said, I hope for some of y'all red meat preachers that he do, because if not, I'm coming on here tonight going crazy. Yes, he will us about the money and views. We shall see. We shall see. All right, I want to thank Kyle Bailey for pulling up in the Lithouse, man. This is short and sweet. We got a lot of work to do today. Shout out to all the honorable members of the Lithouse. Thank y'all. Share and subscribe. Become a new media member, a Lithouse member. We have been in the Lithouse. Thank y'all for pulling up. It's been a wonderful episode. Can't wait to do it again. It's the Litty Lithouse. Run the likes up. You talking about the left hand? Oh, no. I was looking at the left hand like Jesus.
Try, but you can't. You're not gonna get no authentic. You can duplicate the talking points, but there is no blue flame nowhere else. You ain't getting. There's no blue flame nowhere else on you.
When I stepped back, disrespectful at a Hulk game with a Hornets hat, that boy Miles Bridges, man.